Hi, welcome to Passport. In this short video, I'm going to give an overview of the Passport app and the Passport dashboard and how they can be used together. Passport app allows an individual to use their iOS or Android smartphone to self-attest to a series of health-related questions on a daily basis. We start in the app by taking a selfie to form your identity. From there, we enter a small amount of information, including your name, and importantly, your work email. Your work email is used to determine your employer and the valid locations to choose from. We'll get to that a little bit more when we go through the dashboard. So once we've configured this information, we can then select a location. For doc.ai, we have two locations, one in California and one in Massachusetts. I'll pick the one in Palo Alto. Once I select this location, I then land on the Passport status page. The Passport status page allows you on a daily basis to answer a series of health-related questions that are configured. We do that by selecting Health Reported. This will walk you through the questions that have been configured for the location in which you've selected. In this case, there's a series of questions that are based on guidance from the CDC. Have I had a cough in the last 14 days? No. Any shortness of breath or difficulty breathing? No. And so forth through the questions as they're asked. When we get to the end, I confirm that my answers are correct. I can then generate a daily badge. The daily badge is an encrypted QR code that can be scanned for admission to the workplace. This code resets every day, which requires the user to re-answer the questions again to obtain a new code. The app also has a built-in scan function that can be used to scan QR codes for entry into the workplace by a representative. I made a QR code earlier today, so I can scan that now to give a sense of what this looks like. Pulls up my photo from earlier, all clear. Test results can also be uploaded to the app by selecting a photo of a test result that I had, choosing the date, and uploading the file to the phone. Now let's customize the locations and rules with the Passport dashboard. The Passport dashboard is a web-based administration tool that enables employers to set up locations and customize health questions for each of those locations. We start by logging in. The employer administrator logs into the Passport dashboard from a web browser. On the left is the navigation panel. The two things we'll focus on now are the rules and locations. You may recall from the app when we looked at it, for doc.ai we had two locations configured, one in Massachusetts and one in California. Each one of these locations has a set of rules associated with them. Rules are configured in the Rule tab. In this case, we have 3 rules that are in here, although only 2 of them are used in these locations. The Massachusetts office uses the doc.ai rules. The doc.ai main office in California uses the CDC rules. Let's create a new rule. We'll call it New Demo Rule. Once creating a new rule, you can add a series of questions to it. For example, have you had a fever in the last few days? You can ask the question and then what the expected answer should be. We would expect the answer to that to be no. Let's add another question. For example, have you traveled internationally in the last 14 days? We would also expect the answer to this to be no. Once we've added our questions, we can then save that rule. And you can see our new demo rule has appeared in here. Now we could go back to locations, and we could assign that rule to any one of the locations that we had previously. However, let's create a new location. Let's create an office in Chicago. And we'll give it the rule, the new demo rule that we just created. Now I have the choice to enable this location or disable it. We'll go ahead and enable this location so that it'll show up in the app. So now you can see I have 3 locations for the office. One in Chicago, one in Massachusetts, one in California. Let's take the East Coast office and disable it. So now the app will show the Chicago office and the main office. We'll publish our changes. And now let's go back to the app. So I'll choose to change my work location in the app. Back to my locations. Now you can see I have 2 choices. I have the California office, and now I have the new office that I created in Chicago. You'll also note that the one in Massachusetts is gone because we've now disabled it because we've closed it. Let's select the one in Chicago. It now requires me to re-answer the health questions, and you'll see that the questions are the ones that we created in the dashboard. Have I had a fever in the last 3 days? No. Have I traveled internationally in the last 14 days? No. I've now checked all the boxes, and I can generate a new daily badge for the new location that we configured in the dashboard. And that's all there is to it. Thank you.